The Sun Princess finally set sail, and I cannot wait to share with you my first impressions of it. The lucky first guests were brought aboard to a fanfare of celebration, and I could not be more excited for this ship. Now, it is an inaugural sailing, so a lot of people are upset that things are not open or shows aren't ready. But this is the downside of inaugural sailings. The first even month or so of a new cruise ship, the crew is trying to tweak some things. Things just might not be ready. Delays happen. Royal just delayed one of their new ships. It happens. So if you really want to get on a ship and you want it to be ideal, normal circumstances, wait a month or two. If you want to rush and try to be the first ones on a ship, then you need to be prepared that things might not be ready. Yes, I am highly biased towards Princess. If I could only sail on one cruise line the rest of my life, Princess would be it. But that being said, I would never, ever, ever book an inaugural sailing with them because I know that's the circumstances and people are upset, but you have to realize this is not a Princess issue. This is an inaugural sailing issue. Very typical. Even the Icon of the Seas, shows weren't running, things weren't working properly. It happens. So if you want the ideal experience, wait to book your cruise for a month or two after the inaugural sailing. I would lean even towards the 3 to 4 month just because you want to make sure that you have the best experience. That being said, these are my first impressions of what I have seen of the ship so far. Stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you who I think that the Sun Princess will be ideal for. The first cool thing that I like from the Sun Princess is the smart elevators. A lot of people do not like smart elevators, but I do. The reason for that is you punch in where you want to go on the ship, and it will assign you an elevator. The downside of this is you have to punch it in for each person, but for the most part, it seems to not be an issue on other cruise lines like Carnival. So this is just a good way to keep down waiting for elevator after elevator because they're just completely full. I think my favorite part of the ship is going to be the dome and the sea terrace areas. These are gorgeous. I have seen some people complaining about the amount of seating because in the dome they will be having shows there, but the little footrest thingies turn into seats, and who knows, they might rearrange things in order to do different seating for the shows. I don't think this will be an issue. I know the ship is big and there's a lot of people on board compared to other things, but it still looks like it can sit quite a lot of people. The dome itself is amazing looking. I am so looking forward to just hanging out in this area. And then you have the whole sea terrace as well, which has so much seating as well. I was blown away by the amount of seating on the Icon, and I do not like the Icon. Just a heads up, if you are like, Icon wowed me, we are not the same people. I was like, the Icon is beautiful and has lots of seating, but I will never step foot on that ship. So the Sun Princess having tons and tons of seating, and I think the Sky and stuff has really been doing well with updating and having lots of seating as well. But the Sun is just amazing. There's so much seating out in the Sun Terrace, and it's nice and covered. The dome is covered. There's just so much beautiful seating. I'm going to say that 7 million times, but I just love it. With the Lido food area, the pool deck food area, I was slightly confused because in the concept art, it looked like they had it all kind of in a row in a cafeteria kind of thing with a tiny bit of seating. And I was like, ugh, not a lot of seating there. But now what it looks like is they've done what they had, I'm thinking back to the Caribbean Princess where they had the Trident grill and stuff. And I guess a little bit with the Salty Dog grill on the Crown, but they had it on the side in a little corner area. And I think I prefer this better. On one side, it looks like they have the Lido tacos and the Lido, I believe is the Lido pizza on the one side. And then the other side had the Lido greens and the Lido grill. I think is how it went, or grill and then greens. Either way, they had it in two separate little areas, and then the coffee and cones was towards the back. Whereas the concept art had it ice cream and pizza and all that all in one row. So I think I like this better, and the amount of seating out there is incredible looking. There is so much room to sit. Like I said, I'm just obsessed with how much seating there is in general with this ship. It's going to be amazing to see it when it's at full capacity because they don't usually do full capacity for inaugural sailings. Usually it's a month or two, again, to get the crew caught up with, because the crew is all new to the ship too and all that. So it'll be interesting to see once it is at full capacity on a sea day to see how packed the ship is because there's so much seating. Another area that looks fantastic is the new sanctuary area. So this is the adult only area. And I was trying to figure out what exactly is pay versus not pay. Previous ships we sailed on, we actually stayed in the sanctuary 10 years ago and it was an adult only pay area, but the pool was separate from that. With the Sun Princess though, the pool area is like inside the sanctuary area. So I'm not quite sure at this point in time if they are doing the same thing as Royal Caribbean and some other cruise lines where the adult only area is free to get into. And then potentially I'm thinking maybe the sanctuary, like the deluxe loungers and obviously the cabanas are pay. So I'm hoping they're not making the pool area itself as pay, because I think that kind of does a disservice to those adults that want an adult only area but don't want to fork over a ton of money to do it. I will say from what I've heard about other sanctuaries only being able to sit between like 60 and 100 people, this sanctuary area can hold over 300 people. So there's going to be a lot of room in this area. So even if you did have to pay, I feel like it's maybe worth the price if you want that adult only area. But I'm hoping, like I said, that Princess allows the adult only area to be open to all adults, and then just the cabanas and the deluxe loungers to be pay. Because honestly, the most of the loungers in there do not look that comfortable. So why would you pay to then sit on a not great lounger? So I don't know exactly how that's going to work. The cabanas, from what I have heard, are around $4.99, which I think is on par with like Royal Caribbean. I don't know, I can't remember the prices for a cabana on a sea day, but on a port day was like $2.99 or $3.99, some ridiculous price. And their cabanas are not as nice as the ones I have seen for the sanctuary. Again, it's adult only though, so if you are traveling with kids, you can't go in there with them. You can go in on your own, but you can't bring them in. So if you are putting them in, having them go to the kids club, that's the time that you could go, but keep that in mind if you are looking to rent a cabana. Looks like the only cabana rentals are in the sanctuary, which is adult only. Another thing I'm absolutely loving is the pools. Now, because my daughter can't go any of the pools, we probably won't actually enjoy them, but I love that there's like stairs into the nice little waiting pool area kind of stuff where they have those loungers that like sit in there, and it just is such a nice, big, beautiful space. I've heard some people that they're like, oh, the Sun Princess isn't wow enough, and it's like, but what are you looking for? Are you looking for the wow of Royal Caribbean? Because if you are trying to go for that icon of the seas wow, the princess ships are not for you. The princess ships demographic is totally different. There is not one cruise line that fits all people. I know some people that love Carnival. I have clients that are going on Carnival next week, and they love Carnival. They're going on the Mardi Gras. They can't wait. Me, I won't step foot on a Carnival ship. So different people like different stuff. And for some people, Princess is not for them, and it's not going to be for them because it's not their demographic that they're targeting. Something I've talked about before that I didn't like is the ropes course, and I'm still not a fan of that, but at least that's all in one area. There is the splash area back there, and I've talked about that before too, but I don't know if it's going to allow swim diapers, and if they don't allow swim diapers, how are they going to police that? Because unlike other ships like Royal Caribbean, they have lifeguards kind of in a contained area, so they can be like, oh, is your child toilet trained? Nope, you can't go in here, that kind of thing. Whereas Princess doesn't have lifeguards, at least from my experience. So I'm curious to see how they will police that splash area if they're not allowing kids with swim diapers, because I can see a lot of parents being like, I didn't know, and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see. I have not seen that splash area at all yet. I have only seen like the ropes course, which is not open yet. So it'll be interesting to see once it does open up what exactly that looks like. But I'm glad they kind of shoved it into a corner, because then I can just avoid it my entire cruise. The only part that I've kind of been slightly disappointed about is the cabana rooms. Now, I'm probably never going to sail in a cabana room, so it probably won't affect me. But it's kind of like one of those, like, if I could ever do it, I would love to sail in the cabana rooms. And so I was slightly disappointed that the cabana, like the deck area, like your balcony area, there's no lounger there. You have to actually go out a little bit further to the loungers, and the lounge area is just for the cabana suites. But if other suite people are using them, you can't use that one that might be right in front of your cabana. The decked off area is your private area, but there's no lounge there. It's like a chair with a little footrest, which is fine. But I was just kind of expecting like my own little lounging area. Like I said, I'm not sailing in it, but I was expecting like my own lounging area where I could potentially have my daughter playing beside me. And it just doesn't seem like that's kind of what the setup is. I will say I do like the little couchy area, and from other rooms that I've seen, I love these rooms. They're bright, they're airy, they're just fantastic. They flow really well with the theming of the rest of the ship, especially you take a look at like the dome and whatnot, that clean, classy, elegant feel. I feel like the rooms have really hit that. If you are new here and you plan on sailing with Princess, or you're curious about Princess, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I do mostly exclusively Princess content because I love them so much. That's pretty much the only thing I do. I do have some vlogs coming up that will be royal, because we booked royal cruises before realizing how much we loved Princess again. But if you're curious about Princess and want to know more, subscribe. So I did touch on this a bit, but I did want to express more about who I think this ship is for. Because there's a lot of people in the comments on other people's videos that are like, oh my gosh, where's the fun? I need the rock climbing walls. I need the water slides. I need this, that, the other thing. And that is not who this ship is for. This ship, I believe, is for the ones that are looking for a premium or luxury line, who want the service that Princess offers with like their medallion, their customer service, with their crew on board, that kind of vibe to it. Potentially an older crowd, but me and my brother and my daughter are obviously not in the older crowd. If you made it this far, congratulations. My video recording software decided that it didn't want to record the rest of like 4 minutes of me talking. So I am not obviously filming in any place that is really good for audio or visuals, but I want to finish up this video while I have time. Otherwise, I have to wait a whole week until I have time again to film. So anyway, as I was saying, I feel like the Sun Princess is meant for people who want the princess feeling, who are princesses demographic, wanting that more upscale luxury, maybe not luxury, but the premium line and the premium service, without having the big water slides and all that stuff. Like I said, they do have that ropes course in the back of the ship, but that is, I'm sorry for the audio, but that is like a designated part of the ship. You can go like to the dome or anything like that and have some good quality, like relaxing time without having rock climbing and stuff. So if you're looking for, like, if you would love the Icon of the Seas and you want that excitement and the wow of that, this ship is not for you. Anyway, I love the Crown Princess. Go check out this video here for why it is my favorite ship, and I will see you guys later.